What if one single moment of kindness, in the darkest hour, could change the course of someone's faith forever? Tonight I bring you a story you've never heard before, a tale of despair, doubt, and a whisper from the unseen that echoes louder than any fear. My name is Leila Nakamura, and I was born and raised in a quiet town in Oregon. I always believed that life was safe, predictable until the night everything broke apart. It was June 15th, 2020. I was a nurse, just coming home from a late shift at the hospital. You know the scene: endless corridors, blinding fluorescent lights, that sterile smell of antiseptics. It was well past midnight. I was driving down a deserted stretch of highway when suddenly my car tire blew. My heart sank. The rain was pounding on the roof, and of course there was no cell signal. I tried to call for help, but my phone died almost immediately. An hour crawled by. My heart was racing. All these thoughts flooded my mind. Will anyone come? Am I going to be stuck here forever? I felt so small, so vulnerable to the fear and despair creeping in. Then, through the downpour, a faint light flickered. A figure started walking towards me. It was a tall man, soaked from the rain. He introduced himself as Idris and simply asked if I needed help. Every instinct screamed at me to panic, to lock the doors, to refuse. But there was something in his voice, something so calm and gentle that put me at ease. He didn't ask for anything. He just pulled a spare tire from his own truck, offered me a bottle of water and a dry towel. He didn't mention payment or expect any thanks. As he worked to replace my tire, I noticed he had a small notebook with him. I caught a glimpse of what looked like verses from the Quran, but he never mentioned them, never tried to preach. He just worked quietly. While I waited, I felt this overwhelming need to talk, to distract myself from the fear. I ended up telling this complete stranger how I'd been doubting everything lately: my purpose, my faith, even my job. Why do I do this? Why does any of it matter? I asked, tears mixing with the rain on my cheeks. He just listened, patiently. When I finished, he looked at me and said, "When you hold on to service even when no one sees you, it is like lighting a candle in the darkest night. Maybe the world doesn't notice, but one does." In that moment, tears filled my eyes again. But this time, it wasn't from fear. It was something deeper, a feeling of being seen, of being understood, of being loved. A storm was raging outside my car, but inside me, a profound shift was happening. Idris finished changing the tire. He didn't stay long and absolutely refused to take any money. As he started walking back to his truck, he turned and said, "Live so that in your darkest hour, you can still choose mercy." And just like that, he vanished back into the night. No questions, no need for recognition, just pure, selfless kindness. Later that week, I was haunted by the memory. I tried to find any trace of him: an address, a phone number, anything. I searched local aid records, stories of Good Samaritans, but nothing. It was as if he and his truck had never existed. Was he even real? Or was he something more? The whole experience felt so vivid: the highway, the rain, that notebook. About a month later, a small, unsigned note appeared in my mailbox. It just said, "Your kindness doesn't go unseen. One who acts in darkness is still rewarded." From that moment on, everything changed. I started to see my work, my faith, and my entire life differently. I realized that peace isn't the absence of storms, but the trust that in every storm, someone is walking with you, sometimes in disguise, testing your strength and shaping your heart. True faith isn't about what others see. It's about what you do when no one else is watching. Kindness given without expectation has a power beyond measure. Sometimes the most profound spiritual signs come to us in human form, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Your darkest moments might just be your greatest classrooms. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe for more real stories of faith and hope. Share this with someone you know who might need a little encouragement today. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever had an Idris moment in your own life? Thank you for watching.